I know. So there's many of us who feel like we're trying really hard to reach that next level, and it's frustrating, and not just frustrating but kind of disappointing when we feel like we're trying so hard and doing all of the right things to get to that next level or to get that thing that we want, whether it be that we want to, really create a new venture in our life and have a new experience in our creativity or in our business, and just go to that next level and live that life that we really want to live. Or perhaps, it's that we're wanting to really call in a relationship that's really beautiful and that matches our vision that we have for ourselves. Or even perhaps you're in one now and, we want to take that to the next level. And I know that it's so frustrating for us and confusing when we feel like we're doing the work and, we're imagining it and we're processing and we're looking at the parts of ourselves and we're that are the negative talking us, or we're having the visualization and we're creating that internal feeling and we're doing all of the things that we know we need to do in order to get to that next level. And we might even have moments where we feel like we're having the experience for a moment, but it never quite makes it. And I wanted to talk to you all and share with you all my experience about that, and how for us to get to have that experience of absolute ecstatic love, or to have that experience of absolute pure creative genius, or pure bliss and success, those elevated experiences, and to have them in our everyday life, within our relationships, within our family, within our work, within our creative pursuits, to really get there, or to be there. Those experiences happen in a higher frequency. They happen. Love is real love is a really high frequency. And these are, when I talk about frequency and energy, these are things that are measurable now. We know this, science has finally caught up and can measure the electromagnetic field and the frequency of a person who's experiencing love or who's experiencing pure creativity. And we can see that they're high frequencies. And in order to have those experiences, of course, we need to be able to let ourselves be in that higher frequency. Now, as human beings, most of us carry a few beliefs about ourselves that create lower frequencies. In particular, guilt and low self-worth, and fear. But fear and guilt tend to hang around low self-worth. And you might be listening to this thinking, yeah, I don't have low self-worth. I think I'm pretty good, actually. And I don't have guilt, or I don't have fear. But unless you are an extraordinary being, which you are, and you have the potential to be, you probably do hold these things. I know I have, and I do. And when I have moments of recognizing that and letting it go, they're the moments when I'm able to step into a completely new reality. They're the moments that I have focused on expanding and nurturing. And within that, when you recognize those elements of guilt within yourself, maybe you feel they're so subtle. It's so subtle. Maybe you feel guilty for on an unconscious level, and that's the issue, and that's the challenge, is that these things are held on an unconscious level. You're not aware of it. And no matter how conscious you are, or no matter how hard you try, if you're unconscious about something, you're never going to be aware of it unless you have somebody else point it out for you, somebody who's able to look into your unconscious patterns, or you go into such deep expanded states of meditation that you're able to tune into that frequency. Because the things that we hold guilt around could be something as simple as having yelled at your partner, or having been angry at somebody driving a car when you're driving your car, because you might in your conscious mind think, yeah, but that was worthy, that was justified. Me yelling at that person or being angry was justified. But in your deep unconscious, there's no justification for those states. And so because of our societal upbringing and our societal zeitgeist, we tend to hold guilt around those actions. And it may even be something that's from a very, very long time ago. Perhaps you were, perhaps you were in a situation a long time ago in your life where you were a little bit dishonest, and you were doing the best that you could at the time. There's it's probably entirely understandable, but unconsciously you hold a deep sense of guilt around that. Perhaps you don't speak to somebody in your family anymore, and there's some guilt around that. Even though it's justified, there can be guilt around that. And these things feed our sense of low self-worth. Now, you might feel worthy of lots of things, but on a deep unconscious level, do you feel worthy of living an ecstatic life? Do you feel worthy of receiving absolute unconditional abundance and bliss? Because if you don't, if there's any sense of unworthiness there, then you won't be able to receive it, because you're unable to enter into the frequency that's necessary, or the frequency of those things. And it's in order to receive those things, love and bliss and success and abundance, in order to receive those things, you need to be able to be in that frequency. This might sound a little bit out there for some of you, but it's not. It's very real, and it's very grounded, and it's all very measurable as well. So, you may not understand how you hold unworthiness, and as I said, you probably won't, because it's held in our unconscious, which is why it's essential to do this work, to be able to have the life that you really want to live. And what I want to share with you all is that it's so possible. It really is. I am no different to anybody else. And the people that I know who do this work and who have the experience of receiving ecstatic love and receiving abundance, they're no different to you either. They're really not. And it's just a matter of, you have to do the work. You have to be committed to uncovering these unconscious beliefs and patterns that hold you in a pattern of unworthiness or low self-worth, or hold you, keep those patterns of guilt and fear in your unconscious. So, I just want to share this message with you so that you can all know that you absolutely can attain those things in your life. Really, truly, it's real. You can live it, walk it, breathe it. You can step it every step. You can walk this life as an ecstatic, abundant being. Now, it's real. It's true. You can live it in this 3-dimensional, day-to-day, buying your coffee from your regular person in ecstatic love and abundance. It's possible. It's just, we just have to recognize that we can't take these denser frequencies, these denser beliefs with us. They have to go. So lovely to share with you. I hope that some of you receive some insight and some growth and some light from this message. And of course, if you have any questions or anything, always feel free to post them, and I always try and get back to you. Blessings for you all.